What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we've got some very interesting stories on today's show, and we've got a shocking story. I cannot believe Disney would not allow this. It is freaking shocking. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest videos, just make sure to subscribe, like, and comment to let me know that you are enjoying the video. So we are giving away Captain Marvel Blu-ray or DVD if people still use that. It probably just discontinued soon. Or 4K. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel and let me know down below what are you most anticipating from Marvel coming next. So let's get into the video. So we're going to have to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home again. Why? Because it's the greatest Marvel Cinematic Universe movie ever, of course, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to get triggered that, but Warstu, EndGame is so... No, it's not. From a storytelling point of view, it really isn't. So let me know down below, guys, what is your favorite Marvel Cinematic movie? So we're going to briefly talk about something that we spoke about the other day. So I've now rewatched Far From Home again, and you can clearly see this scene. So in the post-credits scene, the one with MJ and Spider-Man, you see a banner that has 1, 2, 3, 4, and obviously this could be inferring to the Fantastic Four. So the sentence is broken up with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and the right would be 4, so simply a question mark. So putting it together, you could theorize that maybe the Avengers Tower will become the Baxter Building in the comic. This could serve as a way for Reed Richards, Susie Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm to come, aka the Fantastic Four. We did a video a few weeks ago about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson becoming the Thing, and now it seems to be absolutely everywhere, but no creditation was given to me, even though we kind of came up with that theory, but you know what it is, it's the internet. So that could be a potential case. As we know, there is the fake rumor going around that there's a 2022 Fantastic Four movie in the works with Ant-Man and the Wasp director Peyton Reed, although there is no actual factual evidence to that. I guess you could say the most reliable insider, Roger, debunk that. So until Comic-Con comes through and Mr. Kevin Feige come out and say something, we don't know anything about this Fantastic Four movie, even if it's going to happen. Now, he has said that there'll be no X-Men movie for at least 5 years, but the Fantastic Four, it's going to happen at some point. We're going to get Zac Efron in a Marvel Cinematic Universe, even if I have to email Kevin Feige's personal assistant myself. Zac Efron is coming to the MCU, confirmed. Well, not confirmed, but I would love it to be confirmed. So that is very interesting. As we know, I've been told by at least 5 insiders that I've spoken to that there was a Norman Osborn Sinister Six post-credit scene teasing that the Avengers Tony Stark Tower was in fact the Oscorp building, or now this kind of Easter egg, I guess you could say, it could be the Baxter Building. But either way, I'm excited for either variations. Now, the only possibility of why they haven't revealed that scene, it literally makes no sense. Obviously, the post-credit scene, the mid-credit scene being the MJ Spider-Man one when Spider-Man gets exposed, and then the Nick Fury, Maria Hill, Talos post-credit scenes were fantastic. They were some of the best post-credit scenes, probably the best post-credit scenes, because let's be honest, guys, we haven't really had any good post-credit scenes for a very, very long time when you think about it. Like, let me know down below, guys. Let me know the last time we had a good post-credit scene that was meaningful and set up a lot of things, because you got to understand, guys, both post-credit scenes set things up for the cosmic side and for the ground side. So did they cut out the Oscorp scene because there is a potential problem with the MCU Spider-Man deal? As we know, the Spider-Man deal is over after Spider-Man 3, and we are not going to get any confirmation at San Diego Comic-Con because Sony isn't there. I don't think Kevin Feige is going to talk about Spider-Man without someone from Sony being there. So recently, the Spider-Man producer had some interesting words to say about Spider-Man 3. This is what was said. Obviously, we're talking about Amy Pascal, the producer, although she still has moved over to Universal, but she's still in control of Spider-Man. So she said this: "You know, I don't think we're ready to tell anybody yet, but yes, of course, there are so many stories that you can tell about Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I think the multiverse and the Spideyverse has opened up unlimited possibilities for us. I think it's great about what Stan Lee and Steve did is they are the characters that can be reinterpreted. It's 1962 is a long time for something to remain fresh, and yet it's been able to. I think that's because just like all of the artists who did all of the various stuff, Amazing, Ultimate, everything has been able to reinterpret these kind of classical characters were able to do that. So although Amy Pascal does not shed any light on what's going to happen in Spider-Man 3, there are rumors that Deadpool's going to be in it, Warstu's getting a cameo role, apparently. Also, the Green Goblin, also Dr. Octopus could actually come into it. Venom, Tom Hardy. There's so many characters that have been rumored, with Andrew Garfield rumored and Tobey Maguire rumored. I mean, these things would be very interesting. So Spider-Man 3 is expected to come out in 2 years, because between every movie there's usually a 2-year time slot. So we're in 2019, so 2021, which means they would have to start shooting the movie next year. But I'm not expecting any Spider-Man 3 news to be at San Diego Comic-Con, because realistically they're not really ready to say anything about that. So also in the news, there is some unofficial Doctor Strange 2 news going around, and it's tied to the scene where Peter is asking Nick Fury, where are all the other Avengers? Now, it is a plot hole, and it is retconned by the post-credit scene when we find out it's not actually Nick Fury and it's actually Talos. But Fury says that Thor is off-world and warns Peter against even invoking Captain Marvel's name. When Peter asks about Doctor Strange, however, Maria Hill mysteriously says that he's unavailable. However, this is pretty interesting. Doctor Strange being unavailable is that he's busy with his own problems, which will be revealed in Doctor Strange 2. The movie won't be released probably to 2022 at earliest, because they haven't started shooting anything yet. But it would be pretty interesting. As we know, Nightmare is rumoredly going to be the villain. Obviously, Nightmare is the ruler of dreams and dimensions, which is pretty interesting. In fact, it's looking likely that Nightmare will be Strange's foe. Now, the recent report came out, said Nightmare is the #1 pick for Doctor Strange 2. Although there is no confirmed or verified information about this, it is looking like Matt Smith could be playing the role. Matt Smith was in Doctor Who, so Doctor Who, Doctor Strange, some correlation. Although I would prefer Joaquin Phoenix. Now, I will put it in the thumbnail or somewhere in this video. There's a fantastic bit of artwork with Joaquin Phoenix, who's playing the DCEU's Joker in the Joker standalone movie that comes out later this year. It is insane. Joaquin Phoenix could play a cool Nightmare-based character. Now, that's it all for the positive conversations in this video. So I want to bring this story to you, which is very, very sad. It's a very sad case. So essentially what has happened is Disney is refusing to let a grieving father put the Spider-Man image on his 4-year-old son's gravestone, because it would change the innocence of the Spider-Man characters. So I'm not going to mention his name or anything, but if you want to know, Google it. So essentially, all he wanted was to put the Spider-Man character on his son's gravestone, and essentially Marvel, Disney, were really insensitive. So initially the story is he applied to the council and the council rejected it because of copyright. Obviously Marvel is one of the biggest companies. They've just acquired Fox for over $60 billion. So obviously they didn't want to get a lawsuit for that, and obviously it's very strict if you're caught using Marvel stuff in public spaces without their permission. So a representative from the Walt Disney Company said this: "We extend our sincere condolences. If we played a small part in Ollie's happiness, we are honored. Generations of fans have responded to our characters with the same wonderful and delight that Ollie, in fact, many believe the characters to be real. We have striven to preserve the same innocence and magic around our character that brought Ollie such joy. For that reason, we have followed a policy that began with Walt Disney himself that does not permit the use of characters on headstones, cemeteries, or other memorial markers or funeral urns." The father of the 6-year-old said, "I really wasn't expecting this. It's another massive blow. I felt they wouldn't allow it." Now, I really think it's pretty bad, because Marvel is a family-based company. The movies are essentially made for a family. Now, them not allowing just a little Spider-Man character to go on the gravestone is such a sad response. He said the following: "I think this is all about money, but now he's died and we won't be spending any more money. They don't care." And that's a direct quote from the father. Now, I find this very bad, because this is such a low kind of movement for Disney. Now, they're saying that Walt Disney himself had this rule and it cannot be changed, but it is literally just a Spider-Man character on a gravestone, which doesn't really sound like a lot, but it would mean a lot to his father. Now, I don't normally cover stories like this on the news roundup, I guess you could say, or wrap up. In fact, we don't really have a name for it. So if you do want to like name it something, then that's cool. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring this to your attention because I think it's really bad on Disney's part. But I guess if they had this procedure in place for many years, it's just really bad that that's the father who wanted to put a Spider-Man logo on the gravestone, but he is not allowed. So it is pretty bad. So, like always, guys, let me know everything that you think down below. Do you think the Fantastic Four is coming to Spider-Man movies? Amy Pascal has confirmed Spider-Man 3, although she's not confirmed when it will take place. Did they cut the Norman Osborn scene because there's problems with the MCU Spider-Man deal getting renegotiated? Could be a possibility as Sony do own all the Spider-Man characters, Venom, Morbius, Kraven the Hunter, etc. So that could be the reason, or maybe it's just an Easter egg that's been blown out of proportion. But either way, guys, I'm always going to post the latest and greatest stories for you guys. And also, Doctor Strange 2. Would you like Nightmare to be in the movie with Matt Smith? Personally, I hate that idea. I'd prefer it to be someone like Joaquin Phoenix could play that role. That would be pretty cool. And what do you think about the story about the Spider-Man gravestone? I really think that's a massive shame that Disney rejected the request. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.